gonna address this real quick. I didn't want to address this in front of y'all, but I will. I will. Vlad TV, I don't front on everybody. I fronted on you. I did to you what you do to our culture. I bent you over and I f***ed you.
Hey, yo, whoa, wait a minute. Pause. N.O.R.E, you got to relax, my guy. Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure there's a lot less money-making way that you've been hanging around too many rich people. Y'all niggas is getting money, and y'all just don't give a fuck what y'all say. My God.
Yell at me. Because, you know what? I was going to do your interview.
And you flaked on him.
Guess what? I'm a grown man. I have a right to change my mind.
Facts.
Right.
And the y'all is just too small. He's too sharp right now.
Yeah.
And I start to see how shit is changing.
Now, before we finish this hopefully unpause-worthy clip, let's go back to a recent interview where Vlad TV sat down with academics. This is what Noriega is actually responding to, and Vlad is explaining how N.O.R.E flaked on him.
I've always been very, like, if you do my show, I will do your show. And I overreact sometimes, but I always have a problem with people who I do their show, and when it's time to return the favor, I get the like Angela Yee.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Charlemagne until this year.
Nore, the runaround. That's why I don't Nore anymore. He's gonna fucking screw you. Nore's about Nore. You know, his word don't mean shit. He's a snake. That's the way I look at it. I don't fucking Nore anymore. The last time I was in Miami, like he told me he's gonna do it, but then just wouldn't give me a time or a date. And it's getting close to the end of my trip, and I'm still getting the runaround. And it turned into like, we started basically talking shit to each other over text. And at the end, he's like, you know something, man, I'm sorry. You know, you my friend. Like, I'm tripping. You know, you're right. You know, when I come to LA, we're going to do this, whatever else comes to LA. He works my fucking calls again. And then I seen him do a media run with like Tony Yayo and them, and like do like a bunch of smaller,
shit.
doing a bunch of small podcasts. And I was like, man, fuck this, bro. Fuck this dude. And me and him, we got into a big fuck you back and forth.
So Vlad is saying, listen, we said we was going to sit down, we was going to do this. I'm calling you, you're not answering your phone. You're telling me this day, you're telling me this time. The runaround, the whole woozy woo. And then eventually he said that it got into some cussing and some screaming. I don't know who the aggressor in that was. Doesn't really matter. He claims that Noriega then said, you know what, you right, my bad, I was tripping, and, you know, when I come to LA, we'll do it. And then the same thing again, okay? Does N.O.R.E have a right to change his mind? Absolutely, absolutely. But does going against your word have consequences, especially in this business? Absolutely. Now, what you're going to hear, and what you've already heard, is Noriega basically saying, I'm not a flaky person. I just flaked on you.
I start to see how you actually put Rick Ross, you actually try to put Rick Ross in jail. That, in my world, you're a rat.
Yeah.
You're told.
Yeah.
You benefit off of black drama.
You do.
You are Jerry Springer. Now. He was like, yo, guys, charge him because he's not going to do your interview. No, I'm not doing yours. I don't like you. So guess what? I played the game that you've been playing for years. Welcome to the motherfucking party. Make some noise.
And this is something that we've been hearing for years about Vlad is a rat, Vlad is a snitch, Vlad is the feds, because he has this platform and he brings people onto this platform and he interviews them, and these rappers go up there and he asks them certain questions that could be incriminating. And that's always been a thing for years. Now, does Vlad ask some incriminating questions? Sure. Does the artist have to answer those questions truthfully? Absolutely not. I think Pee Wee Longway was a perfect example of how to properly answer a Vlad question. And you can look it up. I don't want to get a copyright strike for posting it, but Pee Wee Longway basically taught all the rappers how to keep their name clear and not incriminate themselves. But This is what journalists do. Journalists ask these types of questions. Now, can you say that, okay, it's messed up from the perspective of Vlad because he's not from this culture, he's not of this culture, but yet he pushes and promotes negativity and he's benefiting off of that? I mean, who is it benefiting off the negativity in black culture, right? If you're a business person, that's kind of I'm not saying that it's okay. What I'm saying is, why specifically be pointing at Vlad for it? If you're saying that these are the things that he's doing, go after everybody that's doing that. But here's my other thing. Y'all was cool at one point. Y'all sat down. Y'all had a conversation. Y'all have worked and collabed before in the past. And these same rap allegations and the same stuff was going on back then. So what changed? I mean, you just decided to change your mind. Okay. Listen. You will hear nothing. You will hear no N.O.R.E slander from me. Okay, N.O.R.E is a legend. I grew up listening to N.O.R.E. Damn sure ain't grew up listening to no DJ Vlad. You know what I'm saying? But in these spaces, business and how you handle it is very important. And I'm not really hearing, me personally, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe just these clips aren't giving me enough information on like a legitimate reason for N.O.R.E to flake on Vlad, other than the fact that he felt like he could, like he felt like he wanted to, like he feels like he's bigger than the program or bigger than the platform.
It's like people who are on like those platforms, it's almost like they look at their platform as like more prestigious than yours. Like
The runaround. That's why I don't N.O.R.E anymore. You know, I don't Angela Yee anymore because it's like,
Angela Yee?
I did a show so many times. Like I used to do Sirius XM over and over again. I did the Breakfast Club hella times, and for the past year,
You know what? I have a theory.
for the past year, I was like, hey, listen, I'm coming to New York. I want to get her on my show, and I'll do her show also. Oh, she's really busy this week, blah, blah. For a whole year, she's really busy. Oh, really? So if Usher showed up in town, she'd be busy? Nah, she just doesn't want to do my and I take that a little bit personally because it's like I did your so many times.
Yeah.
And I asked for one appearance, and for a year I get the runaround. All right, cool. I get it. I get the hint.
I started looking at that a little bit different. Again, I kind of felt the same with like Charlamagne. Charlamagne like would invite me to Brilliant Idiots. I think I did like twice.
I did it once.
No problem. And I remember I had a Spotify deal, and I was like, one of the top people I want on, it was Charlamagne. I got Schultz, I got Joe, I got everybody. Of course, you were on like a million times. Right. Didn't get him on. And I was like, okay, he hits me for the Breakfast Club. Come Monday. He's like, come up Monday. It was like some controversy with me. I'm there. And I just couldn't get him for the show. And when I started to kind of look at those situations, like, it's like people who are on like those platforms, it's almost like they look at their platform as like more prestigious than yours. Like,
and maybe they should look at it as more prestigious than yours. If I'm Charlamagne and I work at the Breakfast Club, I do feel like my platform is more prestigious than academics and Vlad. Prestige, yes. Popularity, views, longevity, career achievement-wise, maybe not, or maybe close to the same level. But yes, the Breakfast Club, I would say that the Breakfast Club and Drink Champs have been more beneficial to our culture than any academic stream and any Vlad TV interview. Now, the only difference is Vlad interviews everybody. He interviews a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life. That's why I think some of the criticism that he does receive is unfair, because if you're saying that he takes the worst of our culture and depicts it and exploits it, and I'm not saying that that's not true, but if he's doing that with our culture, that means he's doing it with a lot of other cultures. Now, granted, our culture is probably the one that he's most connected with and tied to, that got him to the position that he's gotten to. But I mean, when you're interviewing actors, comedians, politicians, former mob members, like just all different types of people from all different types of walks of life, and I guess, you don't get some of the same kind of negativity questions from him when he talks to those people. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that N.O.R.E has a point? Do you think that him flaking on Vlad was a bad thing? Would love to hear your comments. Holler back at you later. If you need more exposure for your music business or brand, DM or email bookandcranklucas@gmail.com right now to take advantage of my end of summer promo sale. Get posted on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for the low. Half off of all custom promo. Hit me right now.